Hello friends, in this video we are discussing decision trees and decision tables. These are structured analysis tools. So and these are very good tool for using structure analysis. So let's discuss. As we already know, structured analysis tool has variety of tools like data flow diagrams, data dictionaries, decision trees, and decision tables. Apart from this, structure English and pseudocode are also part of structure analysis tool. So in this video, we are going to discuss decision trees and decision tables. Decision trees. Decision trees are a method for defining complex relationships by describing decision and avoiding the problems in communication. A decision tree is a diagram that shows alternative actions and conditions within horizontal tree framework. Thus, it depicts which condition to consider first, second, and so on. So decision trees depict the relationship of each condition and their permissible actions. A square node indicates an action and a circle indicates a condition. It forces analysts to consider the sequence of decision and identifies the actual decision that must be made. So discuss with the help of diagram. While creating a decision tree, we must ensure that we identify all conditions and action and their order and timing if they are sensitive or very critical. Begin building the tree from left to right and make sure our list all, all possible alternatives before moving to the right. It means first we have to uh, take the all possible actions and all possible conditions which are to be uh, used in decision trees. So here we are showing a diagram of decision tree where we starting from the left and root is in circle and it has sequence 1. Thereafter it has two childs having sequence 2 and 6. Thereafter further uh, 2 has action 1 and 6 has action 4. Thereafter we move to third, and third shows that there are further two conditions after this action and these condition have further actions. So like in the diagram we are showing the sequencing from uh, one by one with each branch, like we are starting from one, then we are moving to second, then we are moving to third, then we are moving to fourth. This is a one leg. Thereafter in the second leg we are starting from 1 2 3 5. In the third leg we are starting with 1, then 1 6 7 8, then फिर 1 6 7 9, then 1 6 7 10. So these are the legs possible uh, outcomes, and on the basis of these actions are performed. So this is a tree, and tree has such some limitations also. We'll discuss in this video also. Decision tree limitations. There are several limitations of decision tree as well. These limitations force us to use decision tables on the instead of decision trees. So decision tables are widely used instead of decision trees due to these limitations. The major limitation of a decision tree is that it lacks information in its format to describe what other combinations of conditions you can take for the testing. It is a single representation of relationships between conditions and actions. So, like we are showing an example, here we have C1, C2, C3. These are the three types of payment, like advance payment mode, purchase amount is greater than 10,000, and a regular customer. So, these three are the possible combination where we are producing some discount or some benefits to the customer. Like in case of C1, it means advance payment mode, we are giving a discount of 5%. And in C2, we do not uh, give any discount. Like from C1, we are considering then a yes and no. If there is a no, then we check whether the customer is regular or whether the customer is purchasing whether the customer is regular or whether the customer is not regular. Then if the customer is regular, then we are giving amount of 5% also. If it is not regular, then we are giving no discount. Whereas if the second condition is not true, then there is no discount. So here we are simply talking about the limitation that on the other combinations of conditions we cannot we can take for the testing, means what was the decision. So this is the limitation. Decision tables. Decision tables are a method of describing the complex logical relationship in a precise manner which is easily understandable. It is used in situations where the resulting actions depend on the occurrence of one or several combinations of independent conditions, and it is a metric containing a row or column for defining a problem and the action. So here we have several components stubs and actions, and we are going to discuss. So there are four components of decision table. First is condition stub, second is action stub, third is condition entry, and fourth is action entry. So we start with condition stub. So it is in the upper left quadrant which list all the conditions to be checked. And in action step, it is the lower left quadrant which outline all the actions to be carried out to meet such conditions. Third is condition entry. It is in upper right quadrant which provide answers to questions asked in condition stub quadrant. And in action entry, it is the lower right quadrant which indicates the appropriate action resulting from answers to the condition in the condition entry quadrant. So we are discussing these four. These four are the components of any decision table with the appropriate place. Decision table rules. So the entries in the decision table are given by decision rules which define the relationship between combination of conditions and course of actions. In rules section, Y shows the existence of a condition. N represents the condition which is not satisfied. It means no. A blank action against action states it is to be ignored. It means there is a no answer for this question. Then X or a check mark with will do. Against action states it is to be carried out. It means it's to be used. So we are going to discuss with the table. With the help of this diagram, we clearly show or we clearly understand the decision table. Uh, there are four quadrant: left, upper right, lower left, and lower right. So upper left has the condition quadrant, which showing three conditions C1, C2, and C3. These conditions are advance payment mode, purchase amount is equal to 10,000, and regular customer. And for these conditions, we have four rules. Rule 1, 2, 3, 4. These are like the actions. And thereafter, in the lower left, we have actions to be taken for these conditions. And we have only two actions. First is customer has to give 5% discount, and there is no discount. These two are the actions. And these actions are to be taken on the basis of the conditions and the satisfying rules. So take a deep look of this table. Like in the condition 1, if we remember the decision tree, then in C1 there was a simple rule that if a person is taking advance payment mode, then uh, there is a 5% discount to the customer. This was the first rule with C1 condition. And if purchase amount is greater than 10,000 or equal to 10,000, then rule 2 is applicable. Rule 2 says if it is yes, then we check what if the customer is regular or not. If uh, cart value is greater than 10,000 and customer is regular, then we are giving 5% discount. But if the cart value is greater than 10,000 but customer is not regular, there means we are giving no discount to the customer. And the third condition is if customer is regular, then rule 2 is applicable. So this is already considered. So this is a clear look of decision table. Hope you understand this decision table. We are taking an we are taking a comparison of decision tree and decision table. We are taking another example of decision tree and decision table. Here we have example associated with discount policy, which has further two conditions. The first condition is bookstore, and second is libraries or individuals. So if we are talking about bookstore, it is further divided into two categories, which means six or more, which has 25% discount. But if it has less than six size, then there is no discount. And in libraries or individual discount policy, we are saying that if 50 or more, then it means 15% discount. In between 20 and 49, there is a 10% discount. And in uh, 6 to 19, there is a 5% discount. But if someone is buying less than 6, there is no discount. This is for libraries or individuals. So clear understanding of discount policy for any customer. If it is a bookstore, it varies only with two conditions, six or more or less than six. But if we are talking about any library or individual, we are dividing this into four different conditions. But uh, the fourth condition is less than six, which is same for both bookstores as well as for individuals and libraries. So we are creating a decision table on the basis of this tree or similar to this tree. So how we create decision tables? First we understand these four quadrants. First is condition stub, second is condition entry, third is action stub, and fourth is action entry. How these four quadrant behaves. Like in condition stub, we are considering all the possible conditions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are possible six conditions. First is customer is bookstore, second is order size is 6 or more, and third is customer is a librarian or individual, which has further order size is 50 or more, then order size is 20 and 49, and order size is 6 and 19. So these are the conditions. Condition entries means either yes or no, that condition is satisfied or not satisfied. On the basis of these condition entries or condition stubs, we are also taking the actions. Actions are a maximum of 25% discount, 15% discount, 10%, 5%, and there is no discount. So these are the actions to be performed. So one by one we check these further conditions. Like if customer is a bookstore, then we go for the first leg, and then we are checking it is 6 or more or less than 6. If this condition is showing that uh, order size is 6 copies or more, then we are saying that yes. If it is a bookstore and 6 or more copies, then there is a 25% discount with action entry. So it is clearly understanding. If it is a bookstore but their copies are less than 6, so there is no discount. Third is if customer is librarian or individual. So we are checking four different conditions. First is if order is 50 or more, then we have 15% discount. If order is in between 20 and 49, so there is a 10% discount. And if order is in between this and this, it means if order is between 6 and 19, so there is 5% discount. In case customer, librarian or individual with condition order size 6 copies or less, so there is no discount. If all the conditions are no with this, so there is no discount. So this is a simple